In these essays, we can start to piece together Marx's quest to identify exactly what it is that limits humanity's freedom. He's starting to take a different course from the young Hegelians. Rather than seeing religion as the root cause of our problems, he describes it simply as the opium of the people, just a painkiller for something much more deep-seated. The true source of our woes, as he saw it, was the way that society was organised to supply our material needs. The capitalist economy.
There have been decades of discussion of religion in Germany. Marx thinks that that is relatively superficial, understanding that really the world we live in is a world of work, a world of productivity, and it's this that affects us and the way that our lives go.
There's a phrase that he uses which is our species essence, and I've never quite understood it. Can you explain that to me?
Species essence for Marx primarily is about the way in which we human beings differ from other animals. And the key idea for Marx is that human beings are essentially productive beings. Other animals, bees, beavers, do produce, but not like us. That bees can only produce one thing, beavers produce one thing, we can produce anything. Marx thinks that all human beings are creative in the way we produce, but the tragedy of capitalism is workers in a factory, they're simply engaging in repetitive tasks, they're not doing the things that human beings ought to be doing. Now, Marx uses this notion of alienation from our species essence to explain not only the way that the individual worker is sort of crushed and chained to the production line, but also the way in which we human beings are together collectively dominated by the world. Even the capitalist actually is dominated. If a capitalist wanted to cut the working day, that probably wouldn't be possible because competitors would exploit workers just as much as before. You'd lose profit, you'd go out of business. And so in this way, Marx said, under capitalism, we become playthings of alien forces. It's almost like a monster that we've created. It's not something we control.
Now that Marx saw the world in a different way, he set out to expose its workings. With his ferocious intellect, and arguably too the bold conviction of youth, he resolved to end degrading injustice and to reunite people with their true, innate being.